Yo, J80. Isabel, good evening. Long time no see, or if you've been here, Isabel, and I missed you in chat, my bad. Shop package, auto sales, and have been absent since the bottom there.
Please don't hurt me this time.
I have not been perfect. I'll be the last person to ever say that. I have not. I'm kind of, I don't know.
Hey, don't worry, I'm fine.
Not a big deal. But you know what is a big deal, fam?
2 weeks now. We haven't talked.
This is a big deal right here. This little rising wedge.
What have you done since? Did you again fell in love like you promised me?
Every time alts look good, this shit happens with Bitcoin. Every time alts look good, Bitcoin does its pullback thing.
Again, promise to give you everything if you could help me. Please don't help me this time, 'cause I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Hey, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm leaving now for another show. What have you done since? Did you again fell in love like you promised me a time ago now? What have you done since? Did you again fell in love like you promised me a time ago now? Please don't hurt me this time, 'cause I'm sick of it.
Yo, shop package. Do I think that the monthly could go negative? You mean red on Bitcoin? I don't know if it could go red. Such a good pocket of liquidity right here. I don't know if it could go red. I mean, that's kind of a little unrealistic. We have some nice kind of, I don't know what this is on Aptos. It looks really good on the daily, to be honest. If we could get a bounce here on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin doesn't just absolutely shit the bed right now, then I think Aptos could make a run. It's right there at resistance 1, 2, 3. Tend to see kind of, you tend to see third time as kind of a charm. So this should be it if we break out. But obviously we have this 1 hour rising wedge. Not the best look. Low volatility here, fam. This is really, really concerning. So anytime you see kind of a zero candle like this, 34 minutes left, and it may actually happen in stream. I don't know if I'll be here for a full 34 minutes, but Um, anytime you have this zero kind of volatility right here, this isn't good. So this candle either is going to pop, break out of this rising wedge, break out of this resistance here at 1340, or it's going to retrace, be a flat green candle before a fall. Now, this is a range, right, fam? Anytime you're trading a range, short the highs, long the lows. And you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 longs there. 1, 2, 3. That would be 4 shorts. So realistically, this is a really good, in my opinion, trade, especially if you have some spot good hedge right here. Obviously, you're going to have to put this a little bit high. Could grab some liquidity up here. But if you wanted to play it tight, just take that wick, that 1 hour wick, the inverted hammer right here, engulfed the previous 2 hours of price action, as well as we have, obviously 21 EMA here. Let's see. We got the 5-minute potential cross here. This cross would be really good. And if it does get sold down, get this cross here. This is going to be a good pressure down. But play the range, right? Play the range here. I really do like this trade. Normally you're going to take the distance from here to here as the measure. So you kind of something like this, right? Make that different color. White. Make it a little thicker. Right? Top, the bottom of the start of the rising wedge. Could see a move that brings it to this level. That makes sense. Yeah, it would. So I do like, a lot of these are looking really good, but then you see Bitcoin pull back, right? We have Bitcoin kind of, in my opinion, Bitcoin doesn't look that great going into the monthly close. We'll get to Bitcoin here in a second, but plays like Aptos, play the range, right? I think this is a good short opportunity. You have some increased volatility. We're either going to pop, which is fine. This short, basically, the way that you play this short is you get stopped out here at 1360, 1348 if you want to play it tight, but you get stopped out here around 1360, flip long, right? That's the whole point of an invalidation. It could take it either way here. Just wait for the breakout, though. I would tell you, do not long into resistance here. Play the range. I do like this trade. That's not the worst trade. Let's see the like a 6R. If you play it a really tight scalp, 1325 to 1245. Nice 6R here on Aptos. But go over here to Bitcoin, right? And again, let's talk about the king here. I like to use symmetry, right? So we have this kind of symmetrical line here on the 4 hour. It rode it up. We broke above it. We broke above it, closed below, kind of break above it. But this line is pretty clean. Became support here. We have this important level right here at 94.5, 95K. Get down here to smaller time frames. Also have a rising wedge. And even more importantly, we do have the EMA and MA here, which has some good spacing, but not the greatest look on lower time frames. Here's the 5-minute, just cross. Let's look at the 15-minute, just cross. The 30-minute, could cross. That would be a nice little hammer move. But anyone that's longing alts while Bitcoin's dumping, I would tell you, no, that's not the move. I would say definitely wait for us to come back down and identify kind of a larger range. So what am I saying? Let's go over here and bring up a blank Bitcoin chart. All right. If you were to just kind of break this up into a nice range, we have an area. I'm just going to put this here, right? This is an area of interest. I call this like a set of order blocks. This is definitely a good Support if we ever had like some black swan, major crash, blah blah blah. All right. We still have an uptrend, right? We have the higher low, right? Higher low here. We do kind of have a lower high. All right. So we have a nice little pennant here. Now, this could play either two ways, right? This could play really well for alts, and it may not play well for alts at all. But as you can see, we just had hype just dropped their airdrop more or less. Basically, you got hype points for the hyper liquid volume. All right. If you guys don't know about that, I'll bring up that chart. Here's the hyper liquid points, and they basically gave kind of like what Jupe did, but if you used hyper liquid and you used it in some steady volume of trading, you paid some fees. Those fees went to a coin. Their coin is doing really, really well. So I use hype as an example because hype, we saw Tell the other day. We saw Aptos a couple weeks ago. We saw Pepe a couple weeks ago. We saw Bonk last week. All these coins are getting some rotation. It's about finding the right coin, right? Like what is going to be popping off today while we're in this little alt range. But overall, right, go to Bitcoin dominance here. Are seeing a nice pullback, kind of seeing a trend lost, at least on this guy right here. That's a pretty good trend loss. Like to see that. Let's go to 3-day. I think we just had a 3-day close. That looks really good right there. 5-day. That looks really good right there. Like this is really clean, right, fam? Ugly 5-day, definitely lose 57%. We're gonna see some type of alt season. I wouldn't call it an alt season. We'll just say alts will catch up. All right, that could be really good for our Pepes and our Bonks. And most of these coins, fam, that I've been talking about are still holding support. So I'm certainly not bearish, but you see something like Aptos. All right, Aptos is at resistance. Bitcoin's pulling back. If Bitcoin continued to pull back, kind of filled out that pennant here, right, and or pulled back to the other support that we've already seen and retested here. All right, so we have port. So easily could pull back here. If that happens, Aptos would not be the long here, right? We're going to see some type of filling out of this range. Aptos pulls back, then you're going to look to long. But Aptos has that rising wedge. Bitcoin has that rising wedge. I bet a few other of these are favorite coins like Jupe. See this on a 1 hour time frame. Not really. Okay, we don't have a rising wedge, but what do we have? We have a nice little channel here. It's kind of how you identify trend loss, but get rid of the EMA and MA here. Just use kind of a meme line. That's a really good look. Obviously, you want to see, like, if you're going to short this, obviously you'd like to see Jupe lose this on a 1 hour. That looks pretty clean right there. In fact, this support resistance goes pretty far over here, fam. Again, lose this on the 1 hour could look really, really good. These are more boxes than they are lines. I hate always putting up a line, but some people can find some clean levels. Let's just put this box up here. This is support till it's support, or until it's lost, excuse me. And so, but does lose this with that meme line. This could be also another good short. A lot of things look weak. That's the reality, fam. Jupe. I'm just looking at let's see, Bonk. Same type of thing. Little bear flag on the 1 hour. Losing some juice here. I bet you that is some 1 hour bearish resistance. Let's go ahead and check that out. Certainly is. All right. So you see this lower peak on the RSI. Have a little 1 hour bearish divergence here. So look at yellow so y'all can see it. Right. With the bearish. All right, so and you have obviously an overall bear flag. So let's see how that plays out. Just a clean channel, bearish divergence in 1 hour. Got Bitcoin pulling back. Um, Holding for right now, but again, rising wedge. Could easily see this range fill out here on the pennant. It looks like a Bitcoin thing that it wants to do. But zooming out to the monthly looks fine here, fam. It's nothing to be concerned about. Can I think this turn negative? I don't think this monthly candle is going to turn negative. That's a 4-week. Excuse me. All right. I do not think this is going to turn negative. This is a really good looking monthly candle. This is a little concerning though. All right. So anytime you see some type of big green candle and you have zero volatility here, fam, this is not the greatest look here. Okay. Everyone see my arrow. Okay. All right, this block right here, we'll call that volatility candle. That beautiful candle means that if we were to see some type of expansion, all right, so let's say the next candle print on December is a little bit bigger, that would be a monthly pivot, and I would go back to being bearish, fam. I will not ignore my system. Okay, as beautiful as that monthly candle looks, this means it was very, very low volatility, aka low volume. Now, the best way to understand this or kind of see this, use this, is to, now let me get rid of this, minimize this one, is to use history, right? So we're just going to go through, pull up these big candles here, and we're just going to use like all the way back here. And what did low volatility mean? So zero volatility, zero volatility, zero volatility, kept going. Low volatility, we kind of expanded up here, right? We saw some expansion up here. This was an expansion move after we compressed. So we compressed into this candle right here. This was our pivot, right? Or really the next one was our pivot right here. These two candles, you see this compression. Then we took off into our more or less bull market. This is 2023, about a year ago. Expansion, okay? Seems some type of consolidation here. So here we go, low volatility, right? So low volatility was followed by a red candle. Expansion. Low volatility followed by expansion down. That's when we saw the lows of 49K, okay? Lower volatility, saw a little expansion. It's right there. And then now we have low volatility. So if you're following this kind of theme, this pattern, that would suggest that the next candle is going to have a pullback, which would be fine, right? It could be any of these type of red candle pullbacks, have some type of pullback, expansion here into December. So we could easily pull back in December, still be red, see some type of, let's say, engulfing, not engulfing, excuse me, close to engulfing candle on the monthly, and then still be bullish, right? Still be overall big time bullish. Something to point out, we do have this beautiful meme line since the lows. So we'll have to watch that. I do think that's really important. I think this is really important to pay attention to, this meme line here. But overall, we cannot, this is a pretty bullish candle. I won't just short because of this volatility, even if we have some type of expansion on December 1st. We could have an expansion on December 1st and we don't really make a top and tank until closer to the end of December. So this is a monthly candle, bigger time frame. Kind of got to play this market day by day, week by week. The weekly looks, let's go over this. I want to show that the weekly looks okay. We had it today for a second, green, until we lost that. And then the 2-week though here looked, obviously, I think it looked a lot worse if I recall. Yeah, it did look a lot worse. So the 2-week actually came all the way back down close to the open. That's what happened like at the beginning of this week, right? We were around 91, 92K at the beginning of this week, and then we popped up over the last few days. So the 2 week looks fine as well, holding it up there, but also has some compression. You check turbo. Turbo. Uh, you mean on deck screener? Only place I could check it. Turbo. Yeah, it look. I mean, it's making lower lows and lower highs. I wouldn't falling back into range here. Let's see. More or less acceptance below this would be bearish. Just holding support for right now. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say about this garbage, but I ain't gonna do meme coins, homie. I literally have meme coins muted on my Twitter feed. The word meme coins. I will not even see it on my feed. Um, happy here. Happy went up and grabbed liquidity. Still consolidating. Kind of a bull flag looking thing. Has also that rising wedge. So really interesting look here. Because it's a lot like those other coins, but it has a little rising wedge action here. Maybe not. We'll just have to see, fam. It's the weekend. Last day of the month. Last day of the month on the monthly candle. We got a 2 week closing. I think we have a 4 week closing on Bitcoin as well. We got a lot of big closes coming. Last month of the year. I wouldn't say mad heavy. Mad heavy is kind of. I wouldn't say that looks that heavy. Like look at the 5 day. Okay, the 5 day closes in a day. I don't think that looks that heavy. I do think we found some resistance here. Found a little resistance at 100K. Little mental resistance, psychological resistance. Obviously, 100K is going to be a very important level. The first coin, though, if we get some type of pullback on Bitcoin, I would be looking to long. A lot of these coins look really, really good to go, but I would be looking to long my little list right here. Got some Jupe. I don't need Inge in my list. I don't know why Inge. Probably because I was trading it. Jupe. I haven't traded ARB in a while too. You don't wanna spread yourself out too thin. Kind of just focus on a few. People are like, hey, why don't you look, what's your interest in this or what do you think about that? Ma'am, I think it's really important to get comfortable trading, like, especially in crypto, because there's hundreds and thousands of assets, just a few assets. I get it. There's very similar trading and themes on other coins, but I personally think that you can get enough juice out of Bitcoin, your Jupe, your Pepes, your Bonks, that you don't need to really focus on other coins. And then The problem is you can get really distracted, right? You're like looking at bonk, you're waiting for a trade to come out, but then you go somewhere else, and then you go back to bonk, and you see you missed the move or whatever, and then your other one that you got distracted by doesn't work out for you. There's a lot of negatives to spreading yourself out thin. I mean, look at this list: BCH, H bar, Tezos, TRB, Woo. I mean, there's a lot of potential out there, fam. A lot of potential. I just don't think that I need to spread myself out too though. So, like, this is pretty clean here. Little bearish retest here on Bonk. Bonk is a very volatile coin. You long this with any leverage. I mean, even a little bit of leverage, you can get liquidated very easily. Some volatility over here. Look at this. Look at the bottom of the range. 9%. 9% move to hit support. Wow. 9%, fam. Wow. $14% from top to bottom on Aptos. If we were to come down here and retest this, like this range right here, oh my goodness. Quietly BNB. Check out BNB, fam. 5-day. BNB is gonna pop off, dude. Oh my goodness. BNB looks so good, fam. Look at BNB Bitcoin. Does anybody remember this? A year ago, we longed BNB at $233. $230 BNB a year ago. If you were in this chat, we went over this exact chart. This chart has not changed. We talked about 370 days of downtrend for BNB against Bitcoin. It finally popped. Wow. And now look at this, fam. This is really good look here. But lower lows. Yeah, it was at 230. And it's stuck there at like 230, 240 for like, it felt like forever. I kept longing and then taking some profits, getting stopped out in profit and then long in. But let's talk business for right BNB. All right. Note all right. First thing you want to see, right? Anybody notice this on BNB Bitcoin? This is BNB Bitcoin chart. Who notices it? All right. In fact, let's talk about that rising wedge again. Remember how I measured it out earlier? Remember how we measured that rising wedge out earlier? All right. Top to bottom. White. Close. Look at that. Look at where our measurement was. Look how close that breakdown of that rising wedge is. Top to bottom. Pretty damn close. I'm not going to lie. If they're going to run it back on BNB, we are looking at the perfect position right here, right now on the BNB Bitcoin chart. Why? We have higher lows. Okay? Higher lows on the BNB Bitcoin chart. This is a beautiful chart. All right? They've completely, like, if we're talking about US dollars, but it's obviously a Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin pair, come down here, retested it, but didn't make a lower low. Right? Came down here, made that structure. Bitcoin's been taking off now this whole time. Look, this is Bitcoin taking it off. So if they're going to run it back on BNB, it's going to be soon. All right? The BNB Bitcoin pair looks like it's going to pop from here higher, right? Doesn't even need to. We could take it right here to this point of control, right? Convergence. You ever watch any of my other streams? Find these little pennant triangle convergences. Put a little box to the tip. All right? That's your next support right here. Higher high. And look at this chart, fam. This 5-day chart. This is the full price. This is BNB going back forever, fam. All the way back to 2017. You guys want to know a story? I got into this market 7 years ago this month. 7 years ago, about 3 weeks ago. Okay, 7 years, right? 2017, early November 2017, I got into this market. At one point, Savage had multiple finance accounts. At one point, I owned BNB from $6. That's right, fam. I owned BNB at $6 spot. I'll never forget having, now this was not a lot of money. I'll never forget having, at one point I had 200 BNB. 200. That's probably the most I've ever had. Maybe I had a little more than that, right? So let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's just say I had 200. Okay. Times it by that 650. All right. Wow. 200 BNB is now 130 grand. 200 BNB. I had 200 BNB. I could pull up my Binance account right now and show you my history. But of course, when I bought it, I think I held it to $32 and I sold. I held it to $32 to around 2019. That's how long I held that 200 BNB, and I got it at $6,400. Now, back then, fam, I was not a full-time day trader. I did not take this seriously enough. I thought that was a lot of money. This was before the 2021 bull run. And actually, that was a lot of money to me back then. And so at the time in 2019, $6,400, I was very happy with that return when I bought most of it at 7. Okay. So, anyways, going back to BNB chart. A lot of hints here, right? We got the 5-day close. I really do like this 5-day. It's got a test wick there. It's got a wick breakthrough. It really does want to break 650. It does. It wants to break 700. And when it does break 700, fam, it's going to run. BNB is going to run. All right. Don't forget, this is where I told you to start longing and buying. Right down here. All right. When Kappa was short. So something we can look at, right, is, well, let's look at the monthly. How does that monthly look? Monthly looks beautiful. In fact, if you were to just take the same comparison that everyone else took on Bitcoin, right? What do we have here? We have a cup and a handle and a break. That's a beautiful look. Nice little cup of coffee. Bull run. Okay. Now, the only way to kind of get an idea of targets is using fibs, in my opinion. So we got a fib here. This could run to like, and this is bull market prices, obviously, meaning like you'd have to wait a while, 6 months at least, but this could run to $1,600. $1,595. The 1.618 is a really good fib level to watch for a major resistance, assuming we continue to keep trekking through this bull market. Now the question here would be: now you could buy a spot. Spot's expensive, $650 a pop. If you think about it, though, you can buy BNB and you can own a portion of BNB. Now, would you long here? No. Savage would not long here. I don't think this is a good area to long. If you're looking kind of across the market here, again, Bitcoin's 96.6. Does look like it wants a pullback. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin here in a second, but this flag, pennant, whatever you want to call it, and I would not call it a flag, I'd call it a pennant, is kind of more or less breaking down. Need to break some major support here before it would actually break down, but this is a nice support level for now. And so I would simply be looking to fill some of this inefficiencies down here. I think this is a good area. This 1 hour fair value gap here is a really good area to long. So if I was going to long BNB or look for a long, I would wait for that pullback to 93, 94K by Bitcoin, and then I would long here. This is a really good area, my opinion, to long. Just look for that fair value gap. And then not only is it that really good fair value gap, but you have a nice little 1 hour order block there. You'd have to throw some stops down there. Probably put it below this wick. That would probably be a concern. But if we got a pullback, easily could pull back here. Still bullish, right? We're making a trend up here. Higher lows. Could pull back here, hit that 1 hour fair value gap, or simply just pull back maybe to the meme line. But this would be my first target. That 1 hour order block fair value gap looks really clean on lower time frames. Again, this pennant is breaking down, in my opinion. It's going to break through this support. We've been up here for a while. Bitcoin's breaking down a little bit. So going back to Bitcoin, what I really saw to think that we could pull back here a little bit more over the next 2 days, which is fine. Going into the next month, we pull back. I think December is going to pull back, fam. The December will be red. And I think December will be the best opportunity to add to your bags and look for longs. But like December could be pretty brutal, and just accept it. I see really low volatility on this monthly candle of November. It had higher volatility when we were closer to 100K, but let's just chill out, slow down a little bit, cycle wise, and then have some more time. We're really early, fam. I didn't need to be extremely bullish at 60K. Because I understand that alts are where all the money's made. 2x from here on Bitcoin, 180K. Okay, a 2x for Solana is 500. A 2x for a 5x for TIA is $40. Like there's so many better opportunities out there for spot plays than just owning Bitcoin. All right, but the 2-day fam has a nice little pivot here. So usually when you see this on the 2-day, we have a flat candle. This starts expanding up. That's after a green move. So we can see some expansion up. Come down here. We actually saw something very similar over here. 2-day sell. We had a couple of them. Right here was a 2-day sell. Anyways. But yeah, I will just say this. Be patient, fam. These are the levels you need to watch on Bitcoin. I would not jump into alts here. Wait for Bitcoin to settle down. Find kind of that range. I think Bitcoin is going to come back down to that 90, 92, 93K area. And then we'll go from there, right? So last day of the month. Stay safe. I do think BNB is going to be the play. I do think BNB is going to be the play. I think BNB is actually a great play for spot. A great play for spot. It's Binance, fam. You can't lose with Binance. Can't lose with Binance. All right. What's my soul targets? 400. I think Soul at 400 is a very conservative target, but I think if we bowl past 100K, okay, and I say if everything's a probability. If Bitcoin bulls past 100K, I believe Solana could get up to somewhere in that $700 area. Um, Someone pointed out that the Sol market cap, right, has made new highs. So Sol market cap, the last time we were over here, this Solana at 79 billion Solana, we were at our highs, and now we're at 121, so or 114 at the highs. So in like a 30 to 40 billion dollar increase on market cap of Solana, we didn't break highs. That's kind of concerning. That's basically because of the flaw in its token, the tax that they have. They tax. As I understand it, there's a tax, a Solana tax, and to keep the fees low on Solana transaction, which are like $1.80 right now. They used to be $1, now they're $1.80. To keep the fees low, they sell or they continue to make more supply of Solana. We also have an unlock in January, a pretty big unlock for Solana. So I think that Solana could go a little bit higher, have a pullback. We'll have to see. There's a lot of token issues with Solana as we get higher. So I think $400 is nice, conservative, easy. Take some profits, ride the rest for free. Target. All right. Mad love, people. I will try to do another stream on Sunday. If not, I will be back Tuesday, Thursday next week. Appreciate everybody coming by. I hope this was helpful. Wait for Bitcoin to settle down here. Pull back a little bit more. The 2 days suggests that we're going to keep pulling back. We lost that meme line. Still holding like a nice bullish structure on the 1 hour though. This has not broken structure, fam. Look at this. This is a higher low. So we haven't broken structure there. But so don't just short yet. If you're going to short, I think there's some better opportunities out there. I think this is a pretty good opportunity right here. I like the range on Aptos. Aptos has a really clean range. I really like this. Really like this trade. All right? Especially if Bitcoin pulls back. We're still ranging here, fam. Not bearish.